Namaskar. Welcome to this podcast curated by ICCR Connecting Cultures, where we connect people across the world through art, culture, and education. I am Poonam Kashyap from ICCR, your host for this podcast. Today, we are joined by a living legend, a classical dancer, a woman who is described as poetry in motion and architecture in breath. She is a prime disciple of Guru Kelucharan Mohapatra, and she is also a torchbearer of Gandharva Mahavidyalaya in New Delhi, founded by her father Vinaya Chandra Maudgalya. A recipient of Padma Shri, the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, and even the prestigious award from Government of France. Please welcome the incomparable Padma Shri awardee, Madhavi Mudgal. Welcome, ma'am.
Namaskar.
Welcome to ICCR. How
you.
are you feeling right now?
Great. Nice to be talking to you.
Ma'am, my first question to you is, most of the people know you as a dancer, but you also have an educational background in architecture. This is fascinating because Odissi is also known as a living sculpture. When you walk onto a blank, dark stage before a performance, do you see it as a void to be filled, or do you see it as an invisible structural lines of a blueprint waiting to be built?
Well, when as a dancer I enter a stage, it's always a mystery. Okay, I have an architectural background. We have a blueprint in terms of the choreography of the piece. But every time you enter a stage, even at this stage after dancing for more than 50 years on stage, it is always a mystery. You never know what is going to happen on stage. So you're walking in a void, and the energy of that space, of the audience, of everything creates beauty.
Great to know, ma'am. Also, I would like to know that as your lineage came and your father has founded Gandharva Mahavidyalaya in 1939 in New Delhi, growing up in a home where music and art are just being practiced and lived, and what was your normal childhood feel like?
Yeah, I was surrounded by music and dance everywhere. So, of course, one was to go to school, but as children we were playing either in a classroom, but listening to music, listening to dance, being with great musicians because they would come and stay with us in our home. So it was really very fascinating. I think very different from other children, because it was not that we didn't play or anything, but also this being surrounded by music all the time, classical music, and great legends of the time. I think that now I realize what a great experience it was.
Any ma'am memory that you would like to share related to that?
You see, now when I see all these great Pandit Thakur, Gangubai-ji, all these people were like, we didn't know how great they were, but we would play with them, they would play with us, things like that. So they are all in the memory, of course. And it was a blessing to be in that environment.
Sure, ma'am. It's indeed a blessing. Ma'am, you are trained in Kathak and Bharatanatyam before you choose Odissi. So today we call such a shift as a pivot in branding and all. And what was the one movement that defined that you will be choosing Odissi? At that point of time, it wasn't that famous.
Yeah. When I started learning dance at the age of 4, it was only Bharatanatyam and Kathak that was known. Odissi was known much later. Late 60s, I saw it, and I was already doing Kathak in quite a big way, dancing professionally, traveling, and dancing with Pandit Durgalal, the great Kathak dancer. But when I saw Odissi, I realized that it is the style that suits my personality, my kind of expression that I want to be with. That's why that was late 60s, and I said I must learn this. It was difficult for me because Kathak and Bharatanatyam I didn't do on stage or just because there were classes in our home only. So I was learning both. And it was not that I want to become a dancer, or I enjoyed dancing and I was learning. And then when I saw Odissi, and it so happened that Guru Hari Krishna Behera, my first guru, came to teach at the Vidyalaya, late 60s, 69 it must have been. So that's how it started,
So you
Odissi.
started learning dance as an interest, and then you find your voice in Odissi.
Correct. Yes.
That's nice. Ma'am, I have been watching your videos and a lot of that. I always notice your bindi. So there's a question related to that. Your bindi is such a signature part of your look. In architecture, every structure needs a foundation stone. So is that bold bindi that you are wearing all the time is a foundation stone of your expression while you are performing, or you are carrying yourself?
I've never seen it like that. Yeah, I mean,
But
I've
it's a great
always worn a
statement.
bindi, and I've always worn the real stuff. I mean, the powdered, haldi, which is colored. But I've never used a plastic bindi. It comes naturally to me when I wear a sari. Putting on a bindi is very
Ma'am, it's
natural.
always symmetrical. It's always symmetrical.
That is, I think,
That's an art. Ma'am, Odissi is known for Tribhanga, the three bends of the body. How would you describe the feeling of perfect Tribhanga to someone who has never seen that, the dance?
Tribhanga is a body position in Odissi, and a lot of it is also in sculpture. In fact, the basic position where there's a central median, Brahma Sutra, and there are three bends of the body. So it's a very sculpturous pose. So Tribhanga, where the three bends of the body, asymmetrical position, yet a very strong position that speaks.
Ma'am, we have a statue for that as well, at that position.
Right here. You see at the waist, at the torso, neck, and knees. When you bend at the knees, torso, and neck, you make Tribhanga.
It's beautiful, ma'am. We usually see
so
that in temples, and when we see it live, it's all different experience.
Yeah, it's like moving sculpture. Odissi could be described.
Ma'am, in your choreography, how do you balance the tradition of your artistic voice and that has been and the dance form that has been carried from the legendary times?
Yes, I think every generation of artists adds to the parampara, the tradition. The tradition is something which flows. It's not stagnant. So every generation of artists adds to, and so I think I have added my experiences, my kind of vision to the art form. But I keep the roots of the tradition because that is only the thing you can build upon. You can't build upon something which is not solid. So you have to be rooted in tradition to create.
Glad to know that, ma'am. Any personal thing that you believe that you have added and you're proud of adding it in your art?
Proud? I don't know. But I like to, you see, when you have one figure, like when I dance solo, it's a different story. When I teach, I see so many figures dancing together. This was when I initially started choreographing with folk group, because I saw a lot of strength in the same movement being done by many dancers. And also in contrast, some dancers doing one movement and the others doing something else, but keeping the tal, keeping the musical structures alive. So that kind of thing I might have added in, especially in group work.
Nice one. Glad to know.
And the use of space and forms in space because of my architecture training.
Ma'am, I've seen that in your videos. Ma'am, tell us something about Odissi which people usually don't know.
Well, I think it's a relatively new dance form that has come on the proscenium stage, because we have history of 2000 years, but Bharatanatyam and Kathak were known for the last, let's say, 200 years. But Odissi came into limelight only after the 1950s. So I think that's one fact people don't know, that it has although it has a long history, but of performance. There was Bharatanatyam being done by the temple dancers and Kathak being performed regularly, courts, but Odissi was hardly there. It was revived it was there in the form of gotipuas, little boys who would dress up as girls and dancers, in a very crude form, I would say. But our gurus culled elements from this, and even the Mahari, we call them Devadasis. Dance had stopped almost 100 years ago, so it was difficult to retrieve what they were doing. but very few were left, in fact, when the dance was restructured. So it has elements of both. This is what people don't know, that it was a later revival.
So any struggle you faced while during your journey of Odissi?
Yes, when I started, it was difficult in terms of getting musicians in Delhi and creating pieces, because unlike Bharatanatyam and Kathak, there were many traditional pieces that you learn. What we learned was created by my guru, Guru Kelucharan Mohapatra, along with Pandit Bhuvaneshwar Mishra. So they were in Odisha. Of course, Guruji used to come to Delhi when I had a performance, or wherever in India. But creating new pieces, getting musicians, training them. In fact, I trained musicians in Delhi. Forever I've trained my own musicians here in Delhi. That's a big challenge. Being in Odisha, it's simpler, but like here, Kathak would be much simpler to find.
True. Keeping
musicians.
It alive in Delhi is really difficult. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, my next question to you is, for someone who is just beginning their journey in Odissi, what will be the right approach to learning it?
Total devotion and surrender to the Guru. And not be in a hurry, because these arts take a very long time. It cannot be learned fast. You can intellectually maybe understand, but your body will take long to execute that finesse that is required of a classical dance. It takes long, so be patient.
Ma'am, this question is for our global audience. If I am someone who is very much fond of and mesmerized by Odissi dance, and I want to learn it, and as you said that we have to find a guru and be devoted to the guru, what is the right process to find a guru? How can I, anywhere in the world, if I want to find a guru to learn it, devotion?
Sheer luck, fortunate. To be fortunate to find the right guru. There is no formula to finding the right guru. You have to perhaps see whom you admire or whom to go to, and then go and be with them. Nowadays, these internet teaching.
It's easy to see and videos.
It doesn't work for me. I don't teach on internet, because it can never be the same for our classical arts. You have to be face to face with the guru.
When we are face to face with the guru, there is an energy transaction also.
Absolutely. That's the only way you learn, because it's internet. That distancing and the time difference. It just doesn't work for me. But of course, a lot of it is happening now, because they can't find a guru there. It's somewhere else. So that way it helps. Of course, it helps. But to really sincerely do a dance form properly, you have to be with the
present. Ma'am, having lived both as a performer and a choreographer, how do you see that these two roles differ in your creative process? Does choreography feel like an extension to your inner voice, or as a responsibility to tradition that has been followed?
Responsibility to tradition is only to that extent that I have to keep the roots of the art form alive. But creating is an inner urge. Not everybody is a choreographer, but it's true. The inner urge to create something. So you have to be interested in music and know a little bit about music, because dance is a composite art form. Literature, music, sculpture, line, color, everything goes into Indian classical dance form. So to create, I think the roots are important.
Anything that you have created and you are actually very proud of, and you would like to share that this is something, or any first of your creation that you believe that I have created this?
Frankly, I never think I have made it. I think it's from the knowledge I've gained from my gurus that I am able to do something. So to be proud of something ki mera hai, it's a little difficult for me to say. It's of course I have created it. And now, see, when our gurus taught us, it was never choreographed by this one. If you're a student of that guru, it was natural. But now we say choreographed by so and so, so and so. So the culture is changing. We are adopting a lot of things from the West. So choreography, okay, your own, but it's not really your own. It comes from the roots.
Makes sense, ma'am. Ma'am, you have traveled across the world and performed Odissi, all the prominent places in the world. What was your experience? As it was also not known in India, and you have been doing it all over the world, what you actually felt doing that? How you were felt by representing India?
I think the strength of a classical dance, arts, music or dance is so strong that you can relate it to an enlightened audience without diluting it. I never have diluted what I do to suit the audience. Arey, unko nahi acha lagega. I've never done that. I've always tried to present the pure form that I have learnt. You know, I used to travel, I used to take Guruji with me. You know, in France, lot of places, in Brazil, we have performed. And what? He was late 60s, you know, a bald fellow, and you know, but he would do a Radha of 16-year-old and people were mesmerized. So what is that? That is the strength of the artist and the art, that they don't know who Guru Kelucharan Mohapatra, what, you know, legacy and all that. It's only the art form that they see, and it's so strong. But we are now trying to dilute, arey unko nahi acha lagega. I don't see the point in that. We have very strong, we should trust the audience.
True, ma'am. We have such a brilliant art forms that it can communicate even without the language, the way
Yes,
people.
absolutely.
Ma'am, your artistry has built a bridge between New Delhi and Paris. You have been awarded with Knights of Art and Letters in Paris, and the knight there means that it is a protector of global heritage. So a place where people are mesmerized with beauty, they recognize beauty. How does it feel to be seen as a protector of global heritage, even acknowledged by France?
Oh, it feels great, because as I was just explaining, that Guruji's form, and of course I've performed at a lot of places in all important places in France, and with Guruji we were also at the Avignon Festival, which is a very famous festival, Théâtre de la Ville, and Venice, Lyon Biennale, etc. And so many little towns all over France, and everywhere I found that love for that. Audience reaction was so strong. I think the French are very culturally inclined, you know, right from childhood, because I had also done a tour for Jeunesse Musicale de France, which is for young people, something like us, Picnic. But there, what they do is they bring young children to a proper theatre and show them the art form.
Oh.
So we did a lot of that. So from a very childhood, they're exposed to different cultures. So they receive it very well. I think that's a very important thing to do right from childhood. They are exposed to different, so they have that input, and then they grow to appreciate art.
Ma'am, for that to implement in India, is there any vision that we can do here?
I think Picnic is already doing that, but I think parents also responsibility that they should expose their children to classical art. Aaj ke zamane mein this internet business, I don't know, you know, it can be used very nicely, it can be used, you know, just for entertainment. Entertainment is not wrong, but give them the right inputs since childhood. Then they will grow to appreciate art.
Any message that you would like to give to the parents so that they can actually let their kids free?
Who listens to messages? Anyway, it is, as I said, that they should expose their children, they should take their children to concerts, because at least in a place like Delhi, everything is free. You will never get this anywhere in the world. People pay very high price to come and attend one Odissi performance. So here, if you expose their children, you know, some people who are sensitive will get, you know, converted to appreciating the form.
True, ma'am. Ma'am, ICCR gives scholarship to foreign students who want to learn performing arts like Odissi through Lata Mangeshkar Dance and Music Scholarship. And looking back, how was your journey with ICCR bridging this gap between the world and India through these programs?
Yeah, I used to get some students from ICCR, and well, I guess now they are teaching in their own countries. So I think that's very satisfying that the art form is being,
Continue.
It's going to different places through their being here as on ICCR, as an ICCR scholar. They're trained in India with the guru, not just me, but any other guru also. They have whatever style they wish to learn, and then they go back to their own country and sow the seeds of our culture, of that dance form.
Ma'am, how was your journey with ICCR all these years?
Oh, earlier we did a lot of tours for ICCR. Our last visit was to Poland for 26 January last 24, I think. No, 25 beginning. So there also lovely audience and very, very warm reception. And before that, I think in Spain, 2015, Days of Indian Culture, which was sponsored by ICCR, different parts of Spain. That was also very, very satisfying. Portugal, Spain.
Ma'am, any experience that you had while performing outside that has actually surprised you with the reaction of the audience?
Surprised me. Well, in Brazil, we had a commitment of 15 days, performing for 15 days every day. There I would see the same people coming back again and again to watch.
Oh.
Their, of course, response after the performance was tremendous. Some people would just cry, The Brazilians are very warm people. So that was a very, seen people coming to see the same performance again and again. So there must be some strength in the art form. Yeah.
True, ma'am. And it's also a different experience when you are watching it live.
Absolutely. Dance cannot be watched on video. I mean, we do it, but it can never bring you that experience that you actually see it live. Music you can hear, not dance. Not classical Indian dance, I think.
Because every person has a different experience. What we observe, what we see
Correct.
is very different from what the video is actually portraying and showing.
Correct.
Ma'am, we have this rapid fire round. So I'll ask you a few questions, this 2 or 3 of them, and you have to answer it one word or one sentence. That one piece of advice that your guru has given to you and you carry till now.
See, they were not the ones to give advice. Only through their own living they were teaching you.
Oh.
So, they would not. I mean, of course, they would teach कि बस ऐसे करो, but advice जैसे आजकल हम देते हैं कि ऐसे, not like that. Just following their life, following their manners. That is what they taught us.
So preparing you for to make decisions on your own.
Not only make decision. I mean, how to lead life.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Discipline, training, sincerity, all that comes from that.
It's always a blessing to have a guru.
Absolutely.
Ma'am, your comfort food after an intense rehearsal, what you usually have?
Hot soup after a performance. After practice, the normal dal chawal roti.
If not dancer, what you would have been?
Architect.
Oh, okay. And describe Odissi in one word.
Grace.
Okay.
Lyricism.
It's there. I can see. Ma'am, since we are talking about the diet, you said that dal chawal you would like to have. Can you explain any diet that you usually have as a dancer?
I'm a vegetarian. I don't have a very special regime of diet, but I guess I don't eat too much. I eat sweets, I eat rice, I eat everything.
There's no specific diet.
I don't follow. I mean, I'm specific diet meaning vegetarian, not rich. oily food, masala, simple food is good. But regular interval, you have breakfast, lunch, snack and dinner, but not snacking all the time.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, there is also a creative segment where we usually ask some questions like if you can compare any expression or mudra or facial expression with this particular statement. So I'll be giving you if you can actually relate to it. Okay. If you are willing to actually do it, maybe.
Let's see.
Okay, ma'am. The final feeling of catching a sunset after 12 hours of a work day.
Oh, I guess just tranquility and the sense of that vastness of nature.
It was actually calming to look at your face.
Oh.
Ma'am, the frustration of a slow internet connection or a chaos that you are in a street, maybe.
Traffic, because I drive, I get very irritated when people don't drive sensibly and this. So, expression order.
Ma'am, can you say a sentence to me in an expression? Like if you will say something to me.
Okay. You and I together are bonding.
Yeah, ma'am, I got that part.
Okay.
Ma'am, any expression that you felt while you were in nature, in mountains and beach?
We just did that, no? Sunset.
Ma'am, that was after a hectic day, but you are spending a day there.
Oh, well, looking at the mountains, the grandeur, the stillness.
Ma'am, your eyes are beautiful.
Are they?
Thank you, ma'am. These are all of the questions. Ma'am, in this last segment, we usually write down a message which we want to give to our future generation so that we can keep it safe. So, please.
Well, इसी में
Sure, ma'am.
Believe in Indian culture and heritage. Just one sentence.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking with you, and it was an honor to interview you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful conversation with Padma Shri Madhavi Mudgal ji. To listen to more of such interactions with prominent personalities in the field of art, education and culture, do subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on our social media handles Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter. And we will be back with a new artist.